It's just a different way to subscribe. Oh, we got a lame! Lix is stealing the pig! Lix goes forward right away here. Game number 3. What a fun series this has been. And Lix with the Incas and this eagle. He steals the pig. Now, I need to just quickly go back to see, did Timo know it was there? Yeah, okay. So Timo scouted the front of his base. Must recognize that that boar has been stolen. And anything goes. This version of Arabia is actually the base version, the DE version of Arabia. There's no precautions taken to move boars to the back or anything, like some tournaments do, and eagles are known for this. It's actually easier. In some ways, it's easier to steal boars because you're a bit slower, which means there's less likelihood you run further away from the pig. But then also, the fact that you can heal up your eagle in the TC is pretty insane. Still, though, did lose a lot of HP, which could play its role. Timo is the Malay and has not tried to, counter lame or anything. He's just, because there's a risk in that. What he does know is that he can push in these deer at least to recover. And the thing about DE's version of Arabia, I don't think we'll see this, but there's normally an extra pack of deer in the corners. So there are some players who take advantage of this. I make videos on. But if you know the standard version of Arabia has that, maybe if you're really feeling like you're in a tough spot, you could run over there, drop a mill. But again, you'd have to look. He also may assume that he's lost his pigs right now. They are actually over here. So currently he's down like, quick maths. 540 food. Bam. I know you're impressed. Okay. So nice start for Lix. Thank you, English Nemesis, for the 21 months. Choppa chow. Thanks for the 5 gifted. Sorry, I butchered that a little bit. Maps look pretty decent compared to the previous game. This one's going to be safer, right? Maybe we could have a game which is a little less aggressive. But so far, the theme between these two has been messy and lots of castle drops, which makes me happy. I'm already waiting for... Let's predict the castle spots now, because we've got Incas involved. They've got cheap castles. Malay love their castle drops, so let's think. Okay. I predict... Oh, yeah! Okay, this will definitely have a castle on it. Nothing else will ever be built here. There is a slight chance a Siege Workshop goes up here, but I think that this is a designated castle area. Now, this is more of a safe castle. But that's probably one of the best castles in the game. Could also see a castle here. Really good spots for castles. A castle here could be solid. A castle through the middle could be great as well. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I like this from Timo. Again, people are resistant to farming in the Dark Age because their little spreadsheet build orders don't say to do that. You lose a boar, just drop 2 farms. Drop 2 farms, push your deer, especially being the Malay. You can kind of catch up in games. And Lix is up already. Very fast uptime here from Lix. So, Malay do advance faster to the next stage, so a lot of times you'll see players add a few more vills. Timo seemingly going to go for archers here as the villagers head over to the gold. So there's always a risk that when your opponent's making a barracks at this time that they do add the militia, but I think the walls are just precautionary more than anything. Lick's about to get trapped. Timo, a.k.a. Timo. Not quite a Viper level trap there, but, it was a good attempt. You could tell his brain was thinking about the right thing. So Incas have a discount on anything that costs food. Actually, any military that costs food. Villagers, even with the Incas, don't count as military. So Spear Skirm seems to be the meta right now. And then in Castle Age is when you'll see players shift into gold units. And you'll notice Timo has a few more working vills because of speeding up to the next stage. Not bad for the Malay. I really like that bonus and what that means economically, by the way. Like, I find that, yeah, it's just a really unique aspect of the game. The fact that you end up having more vills because you advance faster to the next stage, but at the same time, you can't, afford as much when you advance faster to the next stage because you don't have as much time with the amount of vills that you had. It's a whole thing. Malay are a really well-designed civ, in my opinion. I feel like they're strong in a lot of situations, but also kind of awkward in other situations, which is how I think, in theory, some civs, like most civs, should be. Pros and cons. There are other civs which are just kind of like, yep, there's no downsides. So, yeah. So when you're trying to send all this trash forward, it's easy to forget about a random skirmisher here. So you have to be careful. Teemo on point though. Saw the spearman coming back. And now you're just kind of stuck. You're like, well, what do I do? Like, I'm going to go archers. My opponent has skirms already. And it's awkward for your economy. Meanwhile, Teemo pretty much has to add farms. And Lix is still eating away. He's in an all-you-can-eat buffet, just chomping away on pigs right now. Incas are just so flexible. Remember, they don't need to spend much wood on houses. They don't need as many houses because of all the pop space. They also started with the free llama, so... And we have a tower here from Teemo who's just under all sorts of pressure at the moment. It seems like he's changing his plans. It seems like he understands this game has not gone well for him. He's going to head to stone. So maybe a bit of a tower defense long-term plan here for Teemo. We might see a castle. We might see Karambits. Yeah, headed to... Like, building a tower here and then going 6 on stone right now, not a good sign for how this game's going to flow. Think about it this way, right? You want to make it to Castle Age when you're in Feudal Age? That's what you're thinking about. Imagine you have 6 villagers that aren't working just in a normal game. That's horrible, right? Well, these villagers are only working towards the goal of building towers and an eventual castle. So, he is down 6 villagers, which is what, like 20%? 15%? I don't know. Some type of percentage towards the goal of Castle Age. Very early to be mining that stone. But he needed it because he wasn't going to have the army. So you could also argue he hasn't spent as much on army now because of this. So, you know, there's pros and cons to it. And the Malay could possibly catch up as we just have full walls from Lix. Now, Lix is going to be completely safe here. There's no damage he's going to take. Yeah, and he also invested the 100 wood into the mining camp. But, I mean... The alternative here is dropping the... The alternative is you need a blacksmith, you need more skirms, you need all this army to compete with someone who's already ahead of you with cheaper units. So I actually think... Yeah, I actually think that what he's done here is probably better than how this would have gone otherwise. So I like the creative thinking here from Teemo. Plus, I think against the Incas, when you're worried about eagles, having the possibility of a castle and Karambit warriors could just make things extremely awkward for the opponent. Nice house walls around the tower. Lick should never be underneath this tower. That would be very foolish, I think. And Teemo just garrisons. The army's going to have to move away. The Lix is kind of fine. I don't think there was any realistic scenario where Teemo could really afford Man-at-Arms without having other aspects be damaged, right? Like, he didn't have a boar. He didn't have these 2 pigs. So he's down 500 food. Man-at-Arms was never an option here. And if you add the Man-at-Arms now, your opponent's in a good enough spot to just add in a couple archers. So I don't think Man-at-Arms was really realistic, despite the Malay Man-at-Arms being pretty strong. I do wonder if Teemo is bringing this villager forward with a purpose, or if this is a misclick right now. Because he's on the way. Tower defense protects pretty much everything. Lix, though, probably not too worried about that. And, again, random villager walking forward. I like how Lix has 1 unit in here and has otherwise stopped production, and I think Teemo just realized the villager's there. So. Yeah, this is nice. Like, you can use range units to attack farms, and then farmers can't actively work on a farm when it's being attacked. There's actually no farmer there, but this skirm should go to this farm now. Yep, well, now it's attacking the Ville and actually could be killed. This Ville went for a stroll and is headed home, but look at the Castle Age time from Teemo, guys. God, by the way, Teemo sounds like a streaming service. if you want crazy forward castles and to watch someone get their boar stolen, check out Teemo. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's gonna be a thing. It's a League of Legends character. Oh, is it? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. I mean, right now, Lix isn't gonna have. Oh, Lix is also going to Stone. We called it, guys. I was like kind of half joking at the start of the game when I talked about Stone and castles, but this is the time. How do Karambits do against Kamayuks? Horrible, right? Probably horrible. Now, they're probably faster. They're cheaper. But Kamayuks should shred there. Oh, this makes me happy. Teemo is also a measurement unit in League of Legends. Wait, so they have a unit or a hero named Teemo and a unit measurement named Teemo? Both? How does that make any sense? I mean, I don't know anything about League. Beyond, you know, how, you know, the community tends to act. But there goes the castle. So, listen, Teemo's probably thinking right now, he's probably thinking, I can use Karambits to clear up the trash. Easy clear up, and then I can boom. And it's great thinking, but I don't think he's ever expecting the counter to this to be a castle from Lix and Kamayuks. Guys, no one thinks like this. Most pros would go for a couple slingers, and they would boom. Lix says, I know what the people want, and his brain, it just thinks differently. Now, the downside, of course, is that while he has a really cool unit, he's going to fall behind in economy. 2 TCs for Teemo, and Teemo's done a really nice job. Teemo is actually going to surpass Lix's res collected here in a moment. But I think if you see the castle, you must know your opponent's going to add Kamayuks. Let's go. Oh my goodness, the ultra pointy boys. Look at them go. This looks so sick. This is Pro Age of Empires. Pro Age of Empires. Let's go. The Spearman is leading the way. He's the Karambit in training. This seems like an AI army. It doesn't really seem like something you would see at this level. Let's see how the Karambits perform. Boom. Big engagement. And the Karambits just run away. See, that's going to be the problem. The problem is, it's, you know how your parents tell you not to, or told you not to run with scissors? Hopefully your parents aren't still telling you that, but I don't know how old you are. You also don't want to run with this big feathery lance. It could be very painful ending. So, you know, they're being a little tentative. This is with squires as well, by the way. So, Karambit, see the monk, bam, kill the monk. And these Kamayuks are going to lead towards one thing. Guys, these Kamayuks are going to lead towards one thing. There's only one thing that makes sense. Because if you cannot, you know, chase these Karambits down, you have to force the fight. And if he's still on stone and he wants to force the fight, this is a very random blacksmith. I think we're going to see a forward castle. Okay, well, blacksmith gets denied. Why were the villagers there? I have no clue. Maybe he was thinking about a TC. But we talked about castle positions. Lix is still trying to figure out his economy. It's not amazing, but a castle forward, a castle here would just be devastating. The Karambits cannot fight these Kamayuks. Slingers, I mean, slingers you just can't use versus anything other than infantry. Kamayuks can actually raid. Kamayuks can actually kill vills. Slingers are only good against infantry. And then the melee player could easily make a switch, possibly. And right now, Lix going into the back of Teemo's base. Underneath the TC, poke. We'll lose 2 of the Kamayuks. Bit of a weird situation. I thought Lix was going to try and hold the map. It's going to be tough for him right now to do that. T90 always finds a way to bring up our parents telling us about running with scissors. I've maybe said that 3 times in 10 years. What are you talking about? Maybe you just happened to see those 3 streams. I do recall bringing that up at some point this year. One other point. I don't remember when. I cannot get over this army and how it looks. Okay, big fight. Who wins? The tiny Karambits or the pokey boys? The ultimate pointers. Look at them point. Look at them poke. Points, poke. Kamayuks win. That's a big clear up, man. And I don't think Teemo was expecting to lose that fight. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's happening again. It's happening again. This is the hill we talked about. This is actually pretty sick. The fact that they think about the game like this is pretty unique. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, abort. I like the idea. I think Lix may opt for a defensive castle now if he sees these vills. Yeah, Teemo... Actually, well, it's Lix. He's going to win the fight. He now might have some momentum. Well... Lix? Where are the vills? He deleted a hole in his wall. I think he's on the way. The Karambits seem all right if they're like 5-on-1. But once the Kamayuks are in a group, the Kamayuks are clearly just so much better. And yeah, you just need to opt for defense and some other type of unit now if you're Teemo. Teemo can actually be fine as long as he gets a castle up before Lix gets a good position on him. A castle right here would be acceptable. A castle on this hill would be ideal. Oh man, it just hasn't gone according to plan with the castles here. He just really wants a good castle spot. Just passing. Oh, Lix saw him. Lix saw him. And Lix is like, wait a second, where are you going? Lix won't go forward. He's waiting to see where the castle's going to go from Teemo. And there's monks, and there's still Kamayuks, and the Kamayuks are still doing well enough. And now I think Lix will realize there won't be a forward castle on his face. So now he's going forward again. Wait a second, maybe there will be a castle on his face. Hold on, the Karambits are doing okay. Now Lix is scared! Now Lix is scared! Now Lix will drop the defensive castle with everything he's got. This is crazy. This is crazy. We called the hill, guys. Teemo wants Imp, but he actually sold too much of a stone, and now Teemo is backing away. What is happening? This game is insane. Okay, he clicks up to Imp. Sorry, I just got very loud. And he's going to drop a castle there. Now, this could be good for Teemo. This castle is actually fantastic for Trebs. So, you know, this whole castle situation will benefit Teemo. That is a really good one. Look at the market. He sold 700 stone so he could go Imp. And still will have enough stone in a moment for another castle. Guys, if Lix loses his castles, Lix cannot make Kamayuks. And then he has to plan on something else. I don't think Lix knew this castle was here. And Teemo really hoping to force the issue. And he wants... I think he wants a castle up here. This would be the dream castle. Unfortunately, that bamboo is in the way, but you can chop that. And Lix, he'll know that Imp could come in soon from his opponent, but his heart might sink when he sees just how fast Imp is. And Teemo is scared. This game's been so funny. Teemo is scared. Now, you do get the final armor for free instantly. I don't know how helpful that armor is, though, because you're still just... You have a 30 HP unit. Okay, Teemo saw the Kamayuks leave. And now he's going to try and drop the castle. But now the Kamayuks are coming back. Oh, God. Oh, God. This game is ridiculous, man. This game is ridiculous. He makes the correct decision to abort the castle. And he's just going to drop the castle here, which honestly he should have done in the first place. He just trebbed the tree! He misclicked. He trebbed the tree. Come on, Treb. What are you doing? Go for the castle. This whole series has been hilarious. Second Treb's on the way. I mean, Lix is still a minute away from him. So Lix should probably plan for losing this castle. Both of his golds are here. He did snag 4 relics. He does know about this gold and this stone. So the additional like resources down here will be really helpful. Guys, there's times for tech switches, and there's times to just snowball fights. And I think for Teemo right now, the last thing on his mind is the next step. This is all about the Trebor. This is all about Karambits and hoping that Karambits can do it. I like the thinking. I understand there's things Malay could try and do, but everything that you're going to suggest would just cost so many resources. And I'm not sure, like what would you suggest against Kamayuks? It's certainly not in other forms of infantry. It can't be elephants. I think maybe archers? But against Incas? I mean, they can go eagles too. It's... Ugh. I mean, you think about the upgrades you'd need, right? You know, fletching, bodkin arrow, bracer. That right there, 1,000 plus resources. Or maybe around 1,000. Then you have the archer ranges. Let's say 4 ranges. That's a lot. Then the university upgrades. I mean, you're looking at 3,000-4,000 resources just for the tech switch. Whereas instead, you can just invest all your resources into Trebs, into Elite Karambit, and to taking the fights right freaking now. Elite Kamayuk and full armor coming in for licks, though. See, Teemo's thinking, if I can just snag Elite Karambit real quick, get a bunch of these bad boys, I can take down his castles, and then he can't make more of these, and we're golden. What he does have right now is Trebs. These Kamayuks might need to engage to take out these Trebs. Because I think if you lose this hill, this gets very dangerous if you're licks. We so rarely see this. But I think these Kamayuks are just going to completely shred. Walls coming down from Teemo. That is so smart. That is so smart. Walling in the choke point. Uh-oh. Kamayuks don't give a crap about your walls. Kamayuks love choke points. And now the walls have been deleted. He realizes the walls actually help the Kamayuks engage. Repairs from licks. Kamayuks engage underneath the castle. It's a crazy engagement, guys, and the Kamayuks are demolishing these Karambits. The Trebs are going to go next. The castle's still standing here for licks. The castle will continue to stand. The Trebs now as well for licks. They might be focused down, but the Karambits are melting. And licks is going to win this game. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Obviously, with 3 castles, you'd love to have the fletching upgrade, maybe ballistics. I think the Kamayuk is just simply so much stronger than the Karambit. I'm not sure if those factors would have really made much of a difference. Even the attack upgrades for the Karambit. It's still just how these Kamayuks engage. That extra range is so smooth. They're always engaging. They do so much more damage here. A little bit of damage control here from Licks as he still tries to keep his Treb up. Teemo has a chance if these castles stand, and Licks loses his castle. But right now, it feels like that was it for him. And again, I get it. You know, there are games where you tech switch, you talk about options. This was not one of them. This just straight up wasn't one of them. I think Teemo actually played this in many ways as how he should have in early Imperial Age. But like Licks choosing to go Kamayuks, an early castle, and everything he did behind that with the economy was really good stuff. A great game. Licks up 2-1 now in this series. Guys, every game has truly been incredible. I don't know which game is going to hit main YouTube. Typically, the best individual games go to YouTube. But, like, every game's been great. And I can't just toss up the whole series because no one's going to know, like, Teemo and Licks. Like, okay, maybe people will know Licks. People don't know what they're in for. So, if this hits YouTube, watch the full series. It's going to be on the Extras channel, but just fantastic games here. I love the like whole back and forth in that game where Teemo's like, I want a forward castle. Lick says, I want a forward castle. Are you going to do it? What are you going to do? It was just so funny. It's just so funny. Oh, man. But ultimately, the big thing we didn't really talk a lot about is Licks had incredible economy too. To go unique unit, to do everything that was happening there, but also have such a sick economy is just not easy. He made it look easy. Crazy KD, 2-1 KD. And yeah, Teemo's always seems to be the faster player, but Licks is smooth, he's calm, he's relaxed throughout the chaos. Great games.